Here are the top 3 attack strategies at Town Hall 10, and today we're going to show you the best way to use them and the optimal hero equipment. The first attack strategy of today is Zap Lalo. So you bring 5 lightning spells, and no matter what, you are removing the defensive queen from the battlefield. You want to try and take out as many defenses around her while she's walking around as well, but getting down the queen is a must. Now, this attack strategy works best on bases where the queen is in the core of the base, because you're more likely to get good defensive value with your zaps there. So once you've done the zaps, remove that queen from the equation, then you come in with your heroes, and you're going to use a golem to tank for your queen, use the king, both to tank for the queen and to funnel her. And what we're going to do here is get rid of the defensive CC. Now, if the defensive CC is a lava hound and you know that, then you don't want to sui a lava hound because your queen really struggles. But when you don't know what the defensive CC is, better to go in and use the golem to tank. Look at the amount of work it's putting in. You can see the king's doing awesome work down the bottom of the base as well. So the queen deals with the hound here. Not, like I said, if you know it's a hound, better to ignore the defensive CC, but when you don't know, absolutely better to do it like this. The king has cleared out the bottom, and the queen gets a really nice funnel. She's even going to get the wizard tower down here. Now what you need to do is look at the base and find the path of least resistance for your Lalo, which for Mosin here is from the top side, because the sweepers cover less of the top side than the rest of the base. So what do? You send a lava hound out in front, start with one lava hound, and put your balloons onto as many different defenses as possible. Put your second lava hound down, more balloons behind, and now it's time to get our spells down. So we got the haste spell to get to the air bow here, and we'll have another haste spell on the top side. And then you've got one heal spell with this army usually. If there is 2 multi-infernos, you can bring 2 heal spells and drop 2 haste spells. But generally, use 1 heal spell and use it on the back end of the base when your loons have lost a lot of their hit points. And you can use it to counter a multi-inferno or a wizard tower, as you're going to see right here. Now, what I love about not only this attack, but this entire video, is none of the attacks today are going to have a siege machine usage. Obviously, at Town Hall 10, you can request a siege machine, but you cannot build one for yourself. So for those of you who do not have access to a siege machine, this video is great for you. If you do have access to a siege machine, you can still definitely use these attack strategies, and you're going to be incredibly effective with it. With this army, if you have a siege machine, I'd say bring a stone slammer with the Lalo. Next up, we have Falcon. This attack strategy is insanely strong, and that's because you can use it on any base style at Town Hall 10. There is no restrictions on the base. Just make sure you do a couple of things right. So the first thing you need to do is set a funnel. So you start with the queen charge. We see the wizard and a Valk being used to funnel the queen in, and you're just going for small value. You don't need insane value. You don't want to use too many spells on your queen here. 1 rage is about the maximum you want to use. So we're charging, and we don't really care which way the queen goes here. We want her to make up her mind though quicker sooner than not. So the queen's going up here, and as soon as Mosin realizes this happens, you're going to notice he puts his king down on the right hand side, and he wanted the king to go to the right to set a funnel, but does go to left. So we're going to use a Valk and I believe another wizard to set that funnel. Meanwhile, the queen's going to go to ability on the top side, which obviously isn't ideal, but it's not the end of the world, because here is all about the Valks in bowlers. Because we've set a perfect funnel here, we don't need to wall break this first layer, because they're not going to run around the base. All the trash buildings have been taken care of. So watch this. Spam in the Valks and the bowlers all together, and now we're raging and healing through the base. The first rage goes down, then we heal immediately. And you're going to see very quickly the second rage goes down, and we heal immediately. It's incredibly spammy, but it is so effective. Town Hall 10 bases are not equipped to deal with this at all. We deal with the defensive CC really easily, and now it's all about saving our 1 freeze spell to deal with any back-end defenses that become a nuisance, single infernos being the main one. But even if we didn't have the freeze spell here and the queen went down to the single inferno, we have so many Valks up, so many bowlers up, this base got wrecked quickly. It's an incredibly effective attack I can't recommend this enough, honestly. And if you want to get into queen charge attacks, this is a pretty good start point because you don't need to do a big queen charge. Doesn't matter which direction your queen goes, you just need to set a small funnel. Now, if you do have a siege machine with this army, I'd suggest bringing a siege barracks to set the funnel, or you could bring a log launcher. By the way, we haven't talked about it. All the attacks in this video use default equipment, but for instance, if you had the earthquake boots leveled up in this attack strategy, you could definitely bring that. That would be really strong at opening up the walls. Or equally, if you have the giant gauntlet, I mean, the giant gauntlet's broken, right? But the strongest attack strategy at Town Hall 10 is Penta Laloon. Now, this is one of the more difficult attack strategies, so you're going to have to learn a thing or two, but trust me, it's much better learning off these mass Lalos at the lower town halls. It's actually heaps of fun once you get the hang of it. Now, what do you do with this attack strategy? You're going to use your king and your queen to get any value possible. We're not investing in a golem, not even wall breakers on this one. Just get whatever they can, and Mosin here was happy to get that one air defense. That was what he considered enough value. Now, why this attack strategy is number one, it's completely unstoppable. If you do a reasonable attack with this army, there is no base in the game that can stop you at Town Hall 10. So we've done the Sui, we've got 2 heal spells with this army, and essentially we're going to do a mini Lalo where our Sui finished off. So all these balloons going here, we're going to use a heal spell, and their job is to get rid of that multi-inferno. Then we're going to spam the Lalo through the top side. You've got so many lava hounds with this army. Feel free to use them kind of quickly. And why this Lalo is so nice to do rather than, say, the Zap Lalo is you can spam it in a circle around the base. Have a look at this right now. We have loons all around the base. Just envelop the base with your balloons and your lava hounds, and you then use your spells accordingly. Now, the most difficult part of this army is killing the defensive queen. So what you do, you use a rage and a skeleton spell on her, and 9 times out of 10, that will be enough to take her down. You've also got the poison spell, but remember, you might need that for the defensive CC. Then it's about using all your spells through the back end, and we are sitting on the final heal spell here. Not the best place final heal spell. Probably could have used it for our loons on the top side to get rid of the single inferno, but that's okay. We use the poison spell there for the skeleton traps, and this base goes down. And what's handy about this army is you only need 2 troops, because when you bring this many lava hounds, look at it, we have pups all over the base. They do the cleanup for us, and this attack's really quick. You do the hero portion at the start, and then the Lalo rolls the base nice and quickly. This attack strategy can work on bases with 2 single infernos, 2 multi-infernos. It doesn't matter what. It can work no matter what. Just make sure you practice with the army. Yet again, default hero equipment. But I would recommend with the king bringing the giant gauntlet for this one if you have it. But if you don't have it, the standard equipment is fine. By the way, this equipment's not even max at Town Hall 10. So imagine how much more of an overkill this would have been with the maxed equipment. If you do have access to a siege machine, a blimp or a stone slammer will be awesome with this army. But that's it for our top 3. What do you think of our top 3? I know a lot of people like the armies like Queen, Charge, Miner, and it is really strong, but you're kind of reliant on the siege machine as in those sort of armies. So if you don't have access to the siege machine, it's definitely not as strong. So that's why we picked these as our top 3. But let us know if we got it wrong down in the comments below.